Hey y'all, welcome back. We've got another container for you today, and I'm really excited about this one. I think it's going to be so well put together, and the colors are just amazing in it. This one is again for a shade area. We're under our beautiful wisteria today, which is getting cut back a lot today. Um, so our first video, if you saw that, was about Japanese maple. It was terrible. So we're going to redo that today. I have a beautiful Japanese maple to show you that we're going to place in this pot with some other things. So let me show you the other things first. Again, all shade loving plants. Also, most of these are not water hogs, which won't interfere with the Japanese maple. So first, we have the Nonstop Mocha Bright Orange Begonia. And look at that color. Amazing. This is going to be a really, really nice addition. These will actually trail over the side of the pot as well. And that orange with the blue in the pot is just going to be spectacular. So I've got a couple of those to go in here. I've got what most of you would probably call a shamrock. This is a charmed wine, um, Oxalis. Oxalis, yes. I'm going to call it a shamrock because that's what everybody calls it. This will be our trailer in the plant as well. So that's going to look really nice again against the blue. And this is going to contrast with the color of our Japanese maple too, which is going to be incredible. I can't wait for you to see that. I've got a textural element here as well. This is Mexican feathergrass. Really, really pretty grass. Looks like hair. We're going to add that as a textural element. Now, this one technically is not a shade lover, but it's okay. I don't want it to grow any larger than it is right now, and it'll stay looking just like this throughout the season, which is fantastic. So now let's get to the star of the show, our Japanese maple. Look at that. Look at that. I saw this in the greenhouse and I was like, nope, she's mine. She's coming home today. This is an autumn moon Japanese maple, and the color on this is spectacular. I love the half moon look of its leaves as well. Now, in the other video, I talked about some of the basics of having a Japanese maple, and I want to cover those again here very quickly. One, they're great for containers. I highly suggest, especially if you want to put one of these out in your landscape, put them in a container first. Set them out in the area that you want to plant them into the ground, and then test them out. They can be a little temperamental. They don't like a lot of sun for the majority. Now, this one says it's a sun lover. I'm not putting that to the test right away, but you can do that to actually test them out in your landscape and see how they do. You can move them around to other parts of the landscape. If they do well where you've put them in the ground. They'll do great for you as long as they've got good drainage. Now that's a big key with these plants is they love good drainage. They don't want to stay wet. So make sure that wherever you place them, you've amended the soil properly. If you have clay soil like we do here in Virginia, I highly suggest that you add compost and cactus mix to your soil to kind of break that clay up so it doesn't hold on to water. Clay acts like sponge. You don't want that for your maple. But yeah, these are great to put in a container. They will work all year round for you as well in the container. Just make sure that they have plenty of dirt around them so that they're well insulated through the cold winter if you have that. Probably best to put them in the shade if you're in a higher zone. They're not going to do well with that heat and the bright sun. So again, put them in a container, test them out. You can always move them around, which is what makes these so fantastic. But do make sure that they have good drainage. Now with this one, I do want to show you one thing. This is a grafted plant. You can see down here. Pardon me, my gloves are nasty, and if you don't have nasty gloves as a gardener, you're not doing it right. So you can see there that little growth point right here. This is a grafted tree, so the graft is right here. You can see where the rootstock begins and my tree starts here. This is the part that I want. Now I know that as a grower, you're going to think, oh, we've got growth. That's fantastic. Let's keep that. That's amazing. No, you don't want that. Anything below the graft, I'm going to pull it off and get rid of it. I don't want it. It's going to take energy away from this beautiful foliage, and this is what I want, not that. So take that out of there. All right, with that, let's get started planting here. I'm going to actually start with my maple. Now, I do want to check the root system and make sure that it's good. This looks fantastic. You can see nice healthy roots there. It is not pot bound at all. It looks great. It doesn't smell bad, which is great as well. You don't want that because that means you've got root rot. So we're going to put this in the very back. This is going to have a front and a back. This is not going to be a centerpiece. It is my thriller, but it is not a centerpiece. So I'm going to put it in the back of the container. I may have too much dirt here. Let's see. Oh, that's good. A little bit further. I'm also not fertilizing this one. I do not want it fertilized because we're heading into June. So I don't want to give it any extra boost right now because I do want it to go dormant here soon when we start getting cooler weather. Let's see how I want that to go here. I love the shape of this tree. It's going to be magnificent with everything else as well. All right. Actually, I'd like to set that back just a little bit further, I think. So let's do that. Great thing about containers too is you can pull things out, you can move things around, you can set things where you want them to be until they suit you. You're not situated in one way or another. All right, there we go. Now that we have our tree in, nice and tight, no dirt up any higher than it was in its can. It was potted really well, and I don't want to go any higher than the soil level. I'm going to start in the front here. And this shamrock, oh my goodness. Let's check the root system because I don't think, nope, good root system. All right, look how that blends. I love that contrast. That's going to be really amazing together. And spilling out the front here, really, really nice. Really excited about that. All right. Now these will come back for you year over year too, if you're in a warmer zone, especially. We're here in zone 7, and these come back for me every year. My mom actually grew these, and they came back for her. And if you've seen any of our other videos, you know she's not the best with plants, but I think she's getting better, which is amazing. And I love that. All right, let's go with a begonia on this side. I'm going to actually flank that with a begonia on each side. Now, these begonias, you have to be careful with them when it comes to water. They do not like to stay soggy. You can see here, this is dry, and that's on purpose. They will rot out very quickly at the base of the plant if you're not careful. So you do not want to keep them wet. You want to make sure that they're well drained. Water them when they need it, and don't keep them wet. All right, another one on the other side. I think that's going to look beautiful. This one's probably a little bit more wet. Actually, nope, it's dry as well, which is good. All right, and those are going to spill over as well. The blooms on those are going to be pretty good size once they filled out a little bit. I think this will be an amazing addition. And the colors between the two match really well. Always consider the color of what you're planting as you go. It's really important to know how they're going to play with one another in any container. All right, let's get our grass in there. I need that textural element. I'm hoping that I can get this to fit in here. Now, you can always manipulate your root ball if you need to. This one especially, I'm going to take a little dirt off the top because I don't have a whole lot of room left in my container. So I'm going to take a little dirt off the top. I'm going to squeeze it in a little bit there. Pop it right on in. That's going to fill out and grow through and give us the texture that we're looking for. All right. I can't see that from the front, but I bet it looks amazing. Michael's filming for us today, and he's nodding his head, so I'm going to go with that. I think this is going to be a really amazing container. I'm really excited about it. I love the color. Oh, I love the texture, how that plays through with one another, and these are just going to fill in nice and full underneath our beautiful Japanese maple. I hope this video has been much better than our first Japanese maple video. It was a little bit rough. We're learning as we go, so we appreciate you sticking along with us if you've been here for a while. Love and subscribe if you have the time, but otherwise, have a great day. See you in the next video.